So once again, welcome you on behalf of Team Skillet, Ministry of Education, MIC team, and all other partners, stakeholders, CBSE, AICT, and we are glad that we got this opportunity to connect with you and able to share our learnings. We cannot say we are trainers to you because you are the real trainers and innovation ambassadors. We are just a bridge between transferring that knowledge to you. So a future innovators and entrepreneurs could be nurtured under you. So today's topic is startup ecosystem, stakeholders, role of incubator and accelerators, co-working, etc. Topic 15, which is the last topic of the entire module. And as usual, me and Ritu, we are there with you for the entire session. We have guest expert, Professor Devinder Singh and Devinder Kumar. There are two people who will be joining today. So quickly take you to the startup ecosystem. We have different categories where you can start from top to bottom approach that what exactly government is doing at the national level. So you start with Startup India Mission, under which there was a special policy created for all India, including especially for students in colleges and schools. And then it was further taken to the state level. So every state has their own startup mission, their own startup policy as per the guideline of Startup India, but they have their own, inputs as per their geographical locations, requirement, and all other things. And under Startup India mission, there are two major segments where one, the missions, the Startup India mission is helping giving guideline funds to states, especially to kickstart startup programs, nurturing entrepreneurship among youth and students through different schemes, and then also helping institutions set up some infrastructure to nurture entrepreneurship and startups. Second is directly involving with student. That is another thing. Then comes Niti Aayog, which is planning the entire program, and they have also launched very special programs for schools, which are innovation labs, Atal Innovation Labs, and also they have Atal Incubation Centers. So that is coming from Niti Aayog, and they keep on doing so many programs and different kind of funding in partnership with different departments. Then there are ministries, which are Ministry of Skill and Entrepreneurship. Earlier, you never heard any ministry which was related to entrepreneurship. It was just skill, and it was, different kind of a department. Now it is integrated. There's one ministry, Ministry of Skill and Entrepreneurship. And then there are different ministries which are doing entrepreneurship and, nurturing, helping startups and youth and students in their own designated area, which is, let's say, Ministry of Education is doing a lot. AICT has its own policy for students, and they are helping a lot by giving them some credits. Let's say if they want to have their idea generation and startup, so they can take some off time from their regular schedule, and that could be credited against their regular work. So they get that exemption and seed funding and all. So these are things at a top level which are doing at the national level, state level. And then, as I told you, institution level at an innovation labs, which are specially for schools, and any school can apply and have, and a lot of your schools must be already having Atal Innovation Labs. Then Atal Incubation Center, which are more into higher education institutions, will be learning more with Professor Devinder. Second, another offshoot of Atal Incubation is Atal Community Center, which has more bigger wings, which includes community around that center, which could be a village, it could be a school, it could be any other people in that area. Then you have e-cells, entrepreneurship cells in colleges. Almost now every college has entrepreneurship cell, and now schools are also making innovation club or entrepreneurship clubs in schools. Then there are different kind of incubation center. The one of which is more prominent are technology incubation centers, Then you have research-driven incubation center. So they are very specific to some specific institution or sector. And finally, as I told you, SAT student startup policy, which you must read, and you can take a lot of input from there and also apply a lot of it in your school. And then government and private organizations. There are private incubators, private accelerators, which are either funded by own organization through CSR funding or any other way. Also, they get funding from government. There could be an NGO, it could be a private body which want to accelerate the growth of startups. And then there are government, semi-government institutions, bodies like National Institute of Small Business and Entrepreneurship. Then there is a prime body, nodal agency, which is called Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, based in Ahmedabad, which is one of the pioneer, and they are nodal agency. They conduct a lot of entrepreneurship programs. Also, they do for schools, and they are semi-government kind of organization. Then I create one of the director. He came as an expert, Tyagarajanji. So I create is one of, again, a very, very pioneer institution helping entrepreneurs and startups to grow. And Entrepreneurship Institute of India, there are multiple institutes at different zones. You will find mostly in every state, and then zonal level. Then you have Center of Entrepreneurship Development. Again, you find them at state level and multiple zonal level also. So there are a lot of infrastructure which has been built, and with within after 2016, which was the prime time and the kickstarting of new phase of entrepreneurship started by our Prime Minister. Now things are on a very, very speed way, and there are a lot of other infrastructure, help, support or funding, everything comes. And in funding part, again, there are fundings from government, through institution, directly to startups, through different organizations. Then there are private angel investors. There are organizations which have angel investors where you can reach. Then you have venture capitalist organization. Again, they are listed with government, Startup India Mission. You can find them otherwise also. And PE firms and all those things. So there are a lot of funding options, including seed funding from incubation centers and all of those things. Different department, ministries are giving different funds. So that is an overall canvas of ecosystem of entrepreneurship and startup in India. Overall, if you see India at a global level, we are somewhere within the 10 top startup and entrepreneurship ecosystem players. Somewhere we are third, fourth in number of startups, in the value of startups, or number of startups got funded and all those things. Infrastructure wise, we are very good now, and we are growing very good and very fast. And there are so many other parameters, but we are increasing and we are jumping, stairs. We are at the top level of global, and very soon, within I think another 5 years or so, we could be the top entrepreneurial ecosystem in the world. And since we are connecting globally, so now it's more global perspective because of the market, technology, sharing, everything. So it's no more just a national thing, but definitely it brings so much growth and stability to our nation, and we are creating job creators, not the job seekers. So having said that, now Ritu will take you through the Startup India portal and some other facts.
So thank you. So this is the Startup India portal. You can just Google the Startup India and you will see this website, and there are a lot of details here which you can check. So it's a flagship initiative of government to catalyze the startup culture and build the ecosystem. So you can see this website with all the details. Now, if anyone has any idea and they have worked a little bit on it, they can first do the registration on the website of the Startup India, which is called DPIIT Recognition for Startups. So they can apply online. it's a self-certification kind of thing. They have to fill all the details. First, do they register and log in and fill all the details. They get fast track and up to 80% rebate on the filing patents. So there are list of service providers available on the website. Any startup who's registered can apply for the income tax exemption, which is for the three consecutive years. And otherwise, there are easier norms for the startups who are registered. And in case of a winding up, there is also a support on the Startup India website. DPIIT recognition is, there is a page on the website where we can go and click on the get recognized, and you will see all the details. So who is eligible for that recognition? The company which is should not exceed 10 years of the operation. Mostly preferred is private limited company or a partnership or an LP company, and turnover should be less than 100 crore. And anyways, it has to be. And it's a original startup or a company. It should not be part of any established company. And importantly, the idea has to be innovative and scalable. So whatever we were talking, since day one, that innovation and scalability. So whatever the product, process, service, or the business model has to be scalable and innovative. So these are the criteria. On that basis, students can apply on this portal. So till now, around 57,000 DPIIT recognitions are there in India. This is the total India figure. And income tax exemption, that's more critical one. So 396 out of 57,000 have received this exemption certificate. And we are glad that we are one of them. Skillet has got that exemption certificate. And there are a lot of schemes of the funding, like SIDBI funds of fund, out of which 206,000 startups have the benefit. So what happens, there are a lot of support available on that website. There is simplification of the process, there is hand-holding, the funding incentive, and the list of incubation, accelerator, network, service provider, that's all available on the website. If you can see above, the about, resources, network, scheme, policies, everything is there on the website. Here you can see connect with the incubators. There are around 900 incubators registered on the website, accelerators, mentors, connect with government, investors. In the last, you can see connect with investors. Around 118 investors are also registered on the website. So the student can directly connect with all these stakeholders, and they can get help and support. On the funding part, as we were getting the queries initially also. So here on the same website, you can click the link of the Startup India Seed Fund scheme, and you can click apply now. So directly, this is the seed fund, which is scheme is almost always open, but there sometimes it's not open, but otherwise you can go on the website. And the process is that through DPIIT, which is the nodal department, there are expert advisory committee, which are government representatives, and then the incubators, and then the startups. So startups which are less than 2 years ago registered, they can get benefit of this seed fund, which they receive through the incubators. So there are government assisted and non-government assisted incubators. They receive funds from the government, and the startup receive funds from them. So they can apply directly online, and there's no need to physically go anywhere. So I think this is the brief on the ecosystem. And now we have our expert speaker today. Actually, he is running an incubation. Professor Devinder Singh, CEO of Incubation, BML Manchar University, innovation consultant and director new products commercialization of Coca-Cola India. We already met in the last previous session of MVP. So today, because it's more relevant to what he is into, and he has that practical real life experience of running the incubation, so he can share more details about it and his experience.
Welcome, sir. Thank you again for joining.
Thank you, Kunwar, Vijay, and Ritu. Nice to be back here, and good afternoon to all the participants who are there today on this webinar. All right, so thank you so much. I think it's been a very good 2 weeks that the participants have spent with you, and you're now culminating it with the incubators and accelerators. In a way, this is where the rubber meets the ground. Okay. Now, you've just taken them all through what happens at incubator and the scheme. What I would like to tell, what do we see our role as an incubator? What we see is that the startup is a very, very fragile business. Okay, just like a newborn baby is very fragile. Similarly, a startup which is coming up, especially coming from students who don't have too much of an experience of real world business and the kind of practices, both the good and the vicious practices that the business puts to them, they may not be fully equipped. So as an incubator, we have to give them a protective environment to develop themselves, to grow themselves, and then become strong enough to be able to find their way within the world, real world. So a new startup or a new venture needs a lot of support. So it needs support in terms of an infrastructure where to sit, work, do research. They need infrastructure to work. And they need an infrastructure which is not like that of a school or a college. They need an infrastructure which is closer to a business, but is also affordable. So that working infrastructure is one of the first things that an incubator provides. Second is the incubator provides them access to experts or mentors who can listen to them, who can understand their problems, challenges, and help them overcome them. So they help them both from a technical knowledge as well as business knowledge, and even from a mental framework. Now, these mentors and experts could be even faculty members at times, but usually these are people who have been in the ecosystem. They are usually themselves been entrepreneurs earlier. So that is the second very important thing that an incubator has to provide to a startup. Third one is to help them source funds. Now, these funds at a very early stage would come from various government agencies, that kind of list that you shared, a little while ago, whether it is, Startup India is a very big platform which covers a lot of schemes, but many of these schemes are actually managed or dispersed through various agencies under various ministries, depending upon what the focus area is. But some of the very relevant agencies are DST. DST gets funds. Some of these funds, most of the funds from DST is routed through the incubators themselves, not directly to the startups. Then you have, if somebody is working in electronics, apps, then MeetY is another place where they can look for funds. Then if Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprises is also another area, body which has a lot of funding for the startups. State government also many times gives funds to the startups. Then many of the Niti Aayog themselves, so like at our university, we have Atal Community Innovation Center. So many of these schemes are there to help the startups either directly, but usually they do it through incubator. Now, the reason why they do it through incubator is that if a startup is a part of an incubator, then the chances of them succeeding is assumed to be higher because they are getting that access, that ecosystem which increases their chance of success. If a startup was on their own, then there is a certain credibility issue and a certain concern that the startup may not end up succeeding. And that is why the direct schemes are very limited. Most of them are routed through incubators. So incubators' role is to coordinate with the government agencies and seek those funds for the incubated ventures with them. So that's the another very important part of the incubator. Of course, as the startups grow up and they need funds which are of a greater size than what the government agencies do. Government agencies may give you starting a few lakhs to maybe 10, 15, 20, 25 lakh. But when you start needing a larger amount of money, when you're growing and you need more, then you have to go to more other kind of investors, which are like angel investors or virtual VC funds. Again, that is helped by the incubator through two ways. One, incubators connect with certain angel investors, networks, or VCs. Secondly, they help the startup prepare well to seek funding. They prepare them in terms of both presentation and in terms of their business to do well. And while doing this, and while the startups has to go and seek revenue, one of the things that incubators can help them is to get connected to market, or to the users, or to the industry. So these are some of the entities in the ecosystem which are required by the startup, but startup on its own would find it very difficult to connect with them, or very difficult to even engage with them. So this is where an incubator brings that. As an incubator, we have a bigger size than an individual startup. So we are able to have a better relationship with these ecosystem players. And that relationship comes to the benefit of the startup. And that's why over the years, a very strong incubator system, whether it is in India or in China or in US or even in Israel or any other place, drives the startups business, the startup ecosystem. That's a very critical part. And that is why the government of India is also encouraging a lot of incubators to come up, and incubators with a lot of capabilities to come. So whether it is Atal Innovation Mission, which is promoting, or DST, which is promoting TBIs, or many other agencies. So this is one of the reasons why they want to invest also in developing incubators. Over to you. That's what I had to share. If there is a specific question, I'll be happy to answer that.
Sir, you want to understand what is the prime difference between a normal Atal Incubation Center and Atal Community Center? What is the difference and what it does?
Very right. A very good question. So Atal Incubation Centers, which was set up, which Niti Aayog started setting up several years ago, there are quite a few of them already established. Now, what has happened is that these have been established where already the incubation ecosystem was fairly strong, and over the period with the setting of AIC, the incubation system or the ecosystem there has become strong. However, there are still a lot of areas, geographical areas, where the startup as a culture or innovation as a culture is not very strong. So it could be tier 2 cities or underserved sections of the geography. So to build a culture and an environment which will support innovation and incubation in startups, the Atal Community Innovation Centers were as a separate set of entities who have been put up. So like in our university, we have been chosen because we are not part of so we are actually in a area which is a rural area. Though we are well connected to the industry, but the incubators, there are no incubators nearby. For another, wherever we are, 20 kilometers radius all across, there are no incubators. So which means that the natural system to allow people to come up with ideas and turn them into startups is missing. So Atal Community Innovation System has been put one for this reason. Secondly, the ACIC works with very early stage startups or innovators who have just got an idea, maybe a little bit of an idea, a little bit of work they may have done, but they haven't yet gone to a stage where they can show proof of concept and start getting funding from investors. So this journey from very raw idea to proof of concept is the prime focus of Atal Community Innovation Center. So that once you have many of these incubators started reaching that stage, then you create a mass which will allow investors to come and start investing in the ecosystem. So that's why Atal Community Innovation Centers have been put up, and that's the agenda of ACICs.
Great, sir. Thank you so much. And last thing on for schools and how they can reach and find these community centers around them. Is there availability on the website or somewhere? Or
Yes, if somebody were to visit the Atal Innovation Mission website, and then you can look for ACIC, so they can find that there. And I will also type in the email ID, which can be used to reach out to them. And I'll just share that in a
thank you, sir. Yeah, so for all school principal teachers, means you can find your nearby Atal Community Incubation Center and approach them, or the email Professor Devender is sharing, you can write them, and your students can directly or through you can start the journey.
So this is the email ID of ACIC team at Atal Innovation Mission at Niti Aayog. So anybody wanting to know now what is the nearest or some of the ACIC is close to them, they can connect with them and request them to share the information. So we are in Dharuheda, near Dharuheda in Gurgaon district. So anyone who is keen, you can connect with me also, or I'm giving you.
And sir, is there any particular process if some school wants to, let's say, connect to your Atal Community Center, or it's a generic, it start when you just call or write a mail to you? How does it work?
Yes, so they can connect with us. I have given our email ID also, acic@bmu.edu.in. So anyone desirous to have further discussion or keen to visit us or be part, explore with us, you can send us an email and we will be happy to have a discussion with them.
Great, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Once again for coming, taking out time and sharing valuable inputs and information on all the stakeholders. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure, and all the best to everybody out here, and thank you for inviting me.
Thank you, sir. See. Now we have another guest expert today, Mr. Devendra Kumar. He is nominated by Ministry of Social Justice, Government of India for Padma Shri 2020, two-time National Youth Award by Government of India, granted special consultative status in United Nations. And as far as I know, I believe he is a social entrepreneur, he's a change maker, he's an innovator and whatnot. And we are very happy to have him here. And we look forward and request him to share his journey and what he has been doing in innovation and entrepreneurship and how he's been helping and uplifting society around him. Over to you, Devendra Kumar ji.
Thank you so much, Team Scalite, for this wonderful initiative. And as you said, if I would be here to share my journey, then it will take too much time to to discuss those things. But yes, I really would like to discuss some social innovations because I am a social entrepreneur, basically a child laborer converted into social entrepreneur. So I would definitely discuss some of my key initiatives that those I have been executed at ground for public welfare. You can say for motivating youth. You can say all. Even though my upcoming initiative where we have been set up a target to provide digital literacy for 1 million students, basically the disadvantaged students who are living in slums and rural areas and having smartphones, but now that smartphones are being used for TikTok, Instagram and all, but now we would like to convert those smartphones to be utilized as a innovative classes. So where we have been tie-up with Byju's, and Byju's has signed a MOU with us where they have agreed to provide 1 million free subscription of Byju's e-learning for class 6 to 12th. So those subscription we are providing free of cost to all the children who are willing to get the Byju's in their local available languages for CBSE, basically ICSE and the NIOS and other boards, state boards. Those are the boards they have. So where we are right now working intensively on that through e-Pathanshala. We have an initiative called Pathanshala, जिसमें हम लोग जो स्ट्रीट चिल्ड्रन होते हैं, बेगर्स के जो बच्चे होते हैं, बेगर्स होते हैं, उनको फ्लाईओवर्स के नीचे और स्लम्स में जाकर के हम लोग इंसेंटिव्स, टॉयज एंड स्टेशनरी के थ्रू अट्रैक्ट करके उनके पेरेंट्स को मोटिवेट करके 3 महीने तक पढ़ाते हैं और फिर उनको नियरेस्ट स्कूल में एडमिशन कराते हैं, क्योंकि हम लोग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर तो इतना बड़ा नहीं खड़ा कर सकते, बट ऑलरेडी जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है उसका यूटिलाइजेशन हो तो उनको मोटिवेट करके हम वो करते हैं। उसी की कड़ी में आगे बढ़ते हुए हम लोगों ने e-Pathanshala को लॉन्च किया है। एंड जैसा कि मैं आज मुझे पता चला कि देयर आर नंबर ऑफ रिस्पेक्टेड प्रिंसिपल्स आर हियर, सो बेसिकली आप सभी लोगों खुद जो प्रधानाचार्य हैं उन लोगों को हम लोग क्या सेंसिटाइज कर पाएंगे, हम लोग इतनी ज़्यादा वो नहीं रखते, बट येस कुछ ग्राउंड रियलिटीज, कुछ प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपीरियंसेस ऐसे हैं जो मुझे लगता है कि मैं अगर आप लोगों के साथ शेयर करूंगा तो आपके एक एक व्यक्ति के माध्यम से कम 5 से 10 हज़ार लोग जुड़े हुए हैं, बच्चे जुड़े हुए हैं जो कि इस देश का भविष्य है। तो अगर उनके अंदर वो प्रेरणा आ पाएगी तो शायद हम कुछ बड़े रेवोल्यूशन ला सकते हैं। मेरी खुद की जर्नी एक स्लम से शुरू हुई है। आई बोर्न इन स्लम। At the age of 2, my parents left me alone with my 3 days infant sister. I started working as a child laborer. At the age of 8, I started selling balloons in Delhi only. और वहाँ से उस पिटाई में तब during the balloon selling, I was brutally beaten by the gangs of delinquents and juveniles. For they snatched money for drugs and substance abuse. तो वहाँ से मेरी लाइफ शुरू हुई और एज ए चाइल्ड लेबरर काम करते करते किस तरीके से सोशल जर्नी के माध्यम से मैं सोशल एंटरप्रेन्योर बन गया, वो शायद ईश्वर ही उस बात को जानता है। किस तरीके से नेशनल अवार्ड आया, फिर दूसरा नेशनल अवार्ड आया, पद्मा के लिए नॉमिनी हुआ, यूएन तक हम पहुंचे। जस्ट आई वुड लाइक टू शेयर अ इम्पोर्टेंट की फ्रॉम दैट आई गेट टू नो, और वी कैन से कि मैंने अपनी इनर कॉन्शियस को बिल्ड होते हुए देखा है। सो बीइंग लाइक अ टीचर्स आर देयर, प्रिंसिपल्स आर देयर, हम इस बात पे अगर फोकस करें कि बच्चों की इनर डेवलपमेंट पे अगर हम फोकस करें, उनकी इनर कॉन्शियस को डेवलप करने के लिए कोशिश करें, तो हम बहुत बड़े रिफॉर्म्स ला सकते हैं। हम इनोवेशंस को भी आमंत्रित कर सकते हैं और एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप्स को भी आमंत्रित कर सकते हैं। मैं बहुत छोटा सा एग्जांपल उसको देता हूँ कि जब हम प्रोग्रेसिव, जब हम डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज की बात करते हैं, लाइक अमेरिका की बात करते हैं, यूरोप की बात करते हैं, तो वहाँ पर बच्चों को सिखाया जाता है पेरेंट्स के थ्रू, टीचर्स के थ्रू, दोनों के माध्यम से, that be a responsible citizen first, then be a successful person. बट इंडिया में उसके एकदम उलट है। यहाँ पर माँ बाप अपने बच्चों को सिखाते हैं कि पहले एक सक्सेसफुल इंसान बनो, जब सक्सेसफुल हो जाओ तब आप रिस्पॉन्सिबल बन जाना, तब आप सोसाइटी के लिए कुछ करना। तो मेरा यहीं पर ये जो गैप है, मैं इसको ब्रिज करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ। एंड आई एम ट्राइंग टू से कि जो इनर डेवलपमेंट का जो लैक है यूथ में, स्टूडेंट्स में, उसको हमें फिल करना है। एंड वेयर फ्रॉम इनर डेवलपमेंट कम्स, inner development comes from positivity, and where from positivity comes with good work, any kind of good work, what they want to do. टीचर्स बहुत सारी अच्छी एक्टिविटीज उनसे कराते हैं, क्लीननेस ड्राइव्स कराते हैं, प्लांटेशंस कराते हैं, स्लम्स में ले जाकर के एक्टिविटीज कराते हैं। ये जो फिलैंथ्रोपिक और सोशल एक्टिविटीज होती हैं, ये एक देश के नागरिक को जन्म देती हैं। हम जो हैं वो हैं, लेकिन एक देश का नागरिक होना, एक जिम्मेदार नागरिक होना, वो तभी कोई व्यक्ति के अंदर वो सब चीजें इनकलकेट हो पाती हैं जब वो उन चीजों को देखता है या उन चीजों से गुजरता है या उनके लिए कुछ करता है, तभी वो नेशन बिल्डिंग में कंट्रीब्यूट कर पाता है। अब आज की डेट में जिस तरीके से सोशल एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप मॉडल या एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप मॉडल से पहले इंटर्नशिप मॉडल जो डेवलप हुआ है, एनजीओज में इंटर्नशिप्स को लेकर के, वॉलंटियरिंग्स को लेकर के, जो प्राइवेट स्कूल्स, प्राइवेट कॉलेजेस, गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स, गवर्नमेंट कॉलेजेस जिस तरीके से इंटरेस्ट ले रहे हैं, अगर इसको हम एनहांस कर पाए और इसको हम सही तरीके से इम्प्लीमेंट कर पाए, नॉट जस्ट कि बच्चे को इतना हम बोल दें कि आप जाकर के वॉलंटियरिंग सर्टिफिकेट लेके आइए 15 दिन का, नहीं। अगर हम उस बच्चे को वेरीफाई कर पाए और ये बता पाए कि आप जो 15 दिन की वॉलंटियरिंग करके आए, उस पर एक रिपोर्ट भी बना के दो विद फोटोज के साथ, अगर आप उसको रिपोर्ट सबमिट कर सकते हो, आपने क्या क्या 15 दिन में सीखा, उस पर एक डॉक्यूमेंट तैयार करके दो, तो उस बच्चे की अकाउंटेबिलिटी फिक्स होगी कि उसने सोसाइटी के लिए क्या किया, उसको वो डॉक्यूमेंट करना है, क्योंकि वो डॉक्यूमेंट वापस से मुझे स्कूल में सबमिट करना है मेरी टीचर के आगे, और वहां पर मेरी टीचर ने, मेरी प्रिंसिपल ने इसको इवेल्युएट करना है। तो जब वो हर 6 मंथ में कोई एक इंटर्नशिप या वॉलंटियरिंग जब वो बच्चा कर करके आएगा, तो वो ग्रास रूट लेवल से बहुत सारी चीजें सीख करके आएगा, बहुत सारे इनोवेटिव आइडियाज को लेकर के आएगा, बहुत सारी ऐसे गैप्स को पेपर पे उतारेगा जो गैप्स शायद से सोसाइटी की डेवलपमेंट में, ओवरऑल डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द सोसाइटी में बहुत बड़ा रोल प्ले कर सकते हैं, जहां से उसका भी मानसिक विकास होगा। मुझे लगता है कि जब तक हम किताबों में किन्हीं चीज को पढ़ते हैं और जब हम प्रैक्टिकली जाकर के ग्राउंड पर उनको देखते हैं तो दोनों बहुत अलग अलग बातें होती हैं, और उन दोनों अलग अलग बातों को अगर दोनों अलग अलग तरीके से उन बच्चों को सिखाया जाए, जिस तरीके से हमारे टीचर्स दिन भर मेहनत करते हैं, उनको उन एक एक सब्जेक्ट को लेकर के उनको इंटेंसिवली पढ़ाते हैं, उनको देश के लिए कामगार बनाने के लिए उनको प्रयत्न करते रहते हैं, अपनी नींदें खराब करके बच्चों के रिजल्ट पर फोकस करते हैं, उन सारी चीजों को ऑप्टिमाइज करने की जरूरत है, उन सारी चीजों के आउटकम को एनहांस करने की जरूरत है। और अगर हम ये जो सोशल इंटरप्रेन्योरशिप, सोशल इनोवेशंस की जब हम बात करते हैं, जब बच्चों को हम ग्रास रूट लेवल्स की रियलिटीज से इंट्रोड्यूस कराएंगे तो आप देखिएगा आपके बच्चों के बिहेवियर में बहुत बड़ा चेंज आएगा। जब हम मेंटल हेल्थ पर बात करते हैं तो मेंटल हेल्थ के जितने भी पिलर्स हैं, चाहे हम सोशल बिहेवियर की बात करें, चाहे हम वो एम्पैथेटिक हैं या नहीं है इस पे बात करें, चाहे हम इस उनकी इमोशनल कोटेंट की बात करें, उनकी इंटेलिजेंस की डेवलपमेंट की बात करें, तो वो सारी चीजें तब पनपना शुरू होती हैं जब व्यक्ति उन चीजों को देखना शुरू होता है। पढ़ने से चीजें दिमाग में जाती हैं और देखने से चीजें चित्त में बैठती हैं, इंकलकेट जल्दी होती हैं। तो मैं इसी बात पर जरूर जोर देना चाहूंगा कि हमारे जो टीचर्स हैं, जो प्रिंसिपल्स हैं, जो ऑलरेडी अपने कॉलेजेस में, अपने स्कूल्स में जो उन्होंने वॉलंटियरिंग पैटर्न्स जो चलाए हुए हैं, जो कोर्सेज चलाए हुए हैं, या जो अपॉर्चुनिटीज अपने बच्चों को देते हैं, उसको थोड़ा सा ऑर्गेनाइज करें। कि अगर बच्चे को कोई वॉलंटियरिंग अपॉर्चुनिटी दी है कि तुम समर वेकेशन में या विंटर वेकेशन में जाके 15 दिन वॉलंटियरिंग करो या 1 महीने की इंटर्नशिप करो, तो वो वैलिडेट होनी चाहिए, वो वेरीफाइड होनी चाहिए, उसका कोई रिपोर्टिंग मैकेनिज्म होना चाहिए, वो उसमें एक अकाउंटेबिलिटी होना चाहिए। अगर हम ये छोटा सा भी मैकेनिज्म बनाने में तैयार हुए तो मैं सभी को बताना चाहूंगा कि आप 1 साल इस मॉडल को अपने कॉलेज में या अपने स्कूल में एक बार ट्राई करके देखिएगा। यू विल फील द immense change in the behavior or what we can say the overall development of your students। हम लोगों ने अभी UPES देहरादून के साथ मिलकर इसको किया था, हमने सिम्बोसिस पुणे के साथ इसको मिलकर के किया था, हमने दिल्ली पुलिस पब्लिक स्कूल में इसको किया था, और जो रिजल्ट आए वो मुझे नहीं लगता कि मुझे बताने की जरूरत है, वो बच्चे और उनके पेरेंट्स ही आपको आकर के बोलेंगे कि आपने हमारे बच्चे की जिंदगी बदल दी। सो दिस काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स जो आज जब जो पौधा हम लगा रहे हैं, अगर उसको सही टाइम पर हम बढ़िया न्यूट्रिएंट, बढ़िया सारी चीजों के साथ अगर टाइमली हम सारी चीजें दे देंगे, तो जो आज का युवा है वो देश में जब वो बड़ा होगा तो अपने से पहले देश के बारे में सोचेगा, वो अपनी जेब भरने से पहले देश के बारे में सोचेगा कि मुझे कम्युनिटी के लिए कुछ करना है, नहीं मुझे नेशन बिल्डिंग के लिए कुछ करना है। तो वो जो सोशल एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप का जो बीज है वो बच्चे के पेरेंट्स और उसके स्कूल टीचर्स, ये दोनों ही मिलकर रोपित कर सकते हैं। अदरवाइज हम लोगों के पास तक जब बच्चे पहुंचते हैं तो वो उनका माइंड इतना मैच्योर हो चुका होता है कि उनको सिर्फ करियर की लगी होती है, सिर्फ। क्योंकि जब हम लोगों के पास कॉलेजेस में बच्चे आते हैं तो उनको क्या होता है कि अब मुझे बीटेक करनी है, मुझे MBA करनी है, मुझे तुरंत अपना स्टाइपेंड लेना है, मुझे पैसे इनकम शुरू हो जानी चाहिए मेरी। तो मैंने एक बार बोला था, एक इंटर्नशिप सेमिनार में बोला था कि जो बच्चे 5,000 रुपए में स्टाइपेंड पर इंटर्नशिप जाते हैं, उनको एक बार ये सोचना चाहिए कि उनके पेरेंट्स ने जो लाखों रुपया कॉलेज की फीस दी है वो सिर्फ 5,000 रुपए स्टाइपेंड लेने के लिए दी है। क्योंकि वो 5,000 रुपए के स्टाइपेंड में कई वकीलों के यहाँ पर सिर्फ डायरी मेंटेन कर रहे होते हैं, कई लोग टेबलें भी साफ कर रहे हैं। बच्चों का बहुत एक्सप्लॉइटेशन होता है इंटर्नशिप में, क्योंकि जहां पर भी बच्चों को स्टाइपेंड के रूप में मनी दी जाती है, जो भी व्यक्ति स्टाइपेंड देगा, पैसे देगा अपनी जेब से, वो काम लेगा। एक प्री मेच्योर एज पर उस बच्चे के ऊपर मैं तो उसे एकदम चाइल्ड लेबर कहता हूँ, क्योंकि अगर बच्चे को प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपीरियंस देना है, उसे अगर हमने कोई भी चीज इस मैकेनिज्म से भी सिखानी है कि वो प्रोफेशनली क्वालिफाइड हो, वो टेक्निकली क्वालिफाइड हो, तो उसके और भी बहुत सारे तरीके हैं। चूंकि हम देर से चल रहे हैं इसलिए इन चीजों का दुरुपयोग हो रहा है। बट जब हम CBSE की बात करते हैं और CBSE के पैटर्न की बात करते हैं और पर्टिकुलर इस टाइम की बात करते हैं कि जब 15 साल की एज में बच्चा CBSE के कोर्स को पढ़ रहा होता है, जब वो 10th कर रहा होता है तो वो 15-16 साल का होता है, 14 से लेकर 17 साल की वो उम्र होती है। उस उम्र में बच्चे को अभी पैसे पे फोकस नहीं होता, लेकिन जैसे ही वो 18 क्रॉस कर जाता है, जब वो कॉलेज में जाता है, तो उसका फोकस पैसे की तरफ भी डाइवर्ट होना शुरू हो जाता है। तो अगर 11th क्लास का जो पीरियड होता है और जो 9th क्लास का जो पीरियड होता है, अगर इस पीरियड में बच्चे को अगर सोशल वॉलंटियरिंग अपॉर्चुनिटीज के साथ सोशल एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप मॉडल्स के बारे में सीखने के लिए या इंटर्नशिप्स में अगर इंडल्ज किया जाएगा, तो आप देखिएगा इसके बहुत ज्यादा परिणाम आने वाले हैं। दिस इज व्हाट आई वांटेड टू से। इफ यू वांट टू आस्क एनीथिंग देन आई एम हियर, प्लीज। थैंक यू सो मच।
Thank you so much, Devender ji. And I'll just share की takeaway क्या है, बहुत ही crucial points Devender ji ने share किए. The one is that why we should introduce entrepreneurship, social और commercial in per se in schools, because वो बहुत बड़ा pressure है जो 18 के बाद बच्चे पे हो जाता है, तो वो चाह के भी नहीं कर सकता. That is very practical thing which cannot be done in colleges. So it has to be done school. इट हैज टू बी डन मोर अर्ली एज पॉसिबल. और फिर वही बात है कि पेड़ लगाने का सबसे अच्छा टाइम 30 साल पहले था और दूसरा अच्छा टाइम आज है. तो आज देवेंद्र जी आए, इन्होंने बताया है, तो आई थिंक we will take that seed from him and we will start putting seed into our students who will become tomorrow's change maker like Mr. Devender, and change our country and build a better society for all of us. Any other questions you can put in the chat, or if you want to say something?
I think we can relate Devender ji's journey with the yesterday's topic, where we discussed about the social entrepreneurship at the global level, sustainable development goals. Like you can pick any of the 70 SDG and work on that, like he's working on the poverty or job creation or anything. So obviously that's very important. That mindset and skill set of entrepreneurship has to be there, whether it's some commercial or it's a social, that students can decide on their own. But the thing is, they have to identify a problem and then think an innovative solution. That's common everywhere. So I think thank you so much, Devender ji, and now we'll move on to the next segment.
Thank you. And last point again, मैं repeat कर रहा हूँ देवेंद्र जी का, give them experience, because nothing beats an experience, and an authentic experience, not a certificate, because we also remember our school days, college days, वही certificate या कुछ report बना ली. So I think if you put that consciousness into their their thinking, that do whatever you do, but do it by full heart and get that real experience, that matters a lot. So thank you again.
I want to share one thing. क्या होता है ना कि टीचर्स के पास इतना टाइम नहीं होता कि वो सर्टिफिकेट को वेरीफाई करें कि किस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से बच्चे बनवा के लाए हैं. क्योंकि मेरे पास यहाँ पर बहुत सारे ऐसे नोन हैं, जानदार हैं, मैं नाम तो नहीं लूंगा किसी का, ब्यूरोक्रेट्स हैं जो अपने बच्चों के वॉलंटियरिंग सर्टिफिकेट के लिए मेरे पास रिक्वेस्ट करते हैं कि आप इसको बना दीजिए. मैं कहता हूँ उसको 10 दिन तो कम से कम कुछ सिखाइए, अगर आप 15 दिन का सर्टिफिकेट ले रहे हैं तो मैंने एक मैकेनिज्म तैयार किया कि अगर मुझसे आपको सर्टिफिकेट चाहिए तो योर बच्चा हैज टू सबमिट अ रिपोर्ट टू मी. उस रिपोर्ट को मैं सर्टिफाई करूंगा और उस रिपोर्ट के बेसिस पर मैं सर्टिफिकेट इशू करूंगा. अगर इस तरीके की चीजें अगर स्कूल्स में टीचर्स और प्रिंसिपल्स अगर शुरू कर दें कि कोई भी वॉलंटियरिंग सर्टिफिकेट वैलिड तब तक नहीं होगा जब तक उस सर्टिफिकेट के साथ उस बच्चे की रिपोर्ट नहीं होगी कि उसने क्या काम करा है, क्या सीखा है. उसमें प्रॉपर रिपोर्टिंग होगी, उसमें फोटोज होंगी, उसमें सारी चीजें होंगी. प्रेजेंटेशन होती है 3-4 पेज की, कोई ज्यादा बड़ी बात नहीं. अगर हम 15 दिन का काम उसको करने को दे रहे हैं तो वो 5 पेज की एक रिपोर्ट बना सकता है. तो उससे एक ऑथेंटिसिटी भी डेवलप होगी, उससे उस बच्चे को भी रिपोर्ट बनाने को सीखने को मिलेगा और टीचर्स को भी डिफरेंट आइडियाज समझ में आएंगे. मैं यहाँ पर एक छोटी सी चीज हमेशा कहता हूँ कि वी ऑलवेज से दैट इंडिया इज डेवलपिंग कंट्री. Why we are saying this developing country? We will remain developing for a life till the time we will not change our mindset, till the time we will not become a progressive mindset people. क्यों आज जो countries developed हैं, they are not developed just because of their infrastructure. They are developed कि वहाँ के लोगों की सोच प्रोग्रेसिव है. तो अगर हम लोग भी अपनी सोच को प्रोग्रेसिव कर लेंगे और बच्चों के पेरेंट्स में, बच्चों में अगर इस प्रोग्रेसिव सोच को जरा सा भी ट्रांसफर कर पाए या तो आप देखिएगा बहुत बड़े रिजल्ट आएंगे, बहुत ज्यादा बड़े रिजल्ट. थैंक यू सो मच.
Thank you again. Thank you so much, Devender ji. Thank you for your valuable time and sharing. Now it's time for recap of the session.
So trying to recap the
Entire
program.
Yes. So yeah, because we have done a long journey with you, a 15 session journey, almost a month with you. So it's good to recap at the end, so you recapture the best of it. starting from the topic 1, basics of entrepreneurship, startup, role of teacher. Very important, you as an innovation ambassadors from today have that role and that responsibility on your shoulders, which is very big to create a nation and create a young generation of innovators and change makers. Entrepreneurship, intrapreneurship, startup, social startup, doesn't matter, that mindset should be developed. What they do with that mindset, they do it commercially, they do it for social cause, let them handle that. You be as a non-judgmental teacher, more as a facilitator. That is a role I think we'll request you to play. The second topic is startup stages, its detailing and terminologies. So we gave you the entire detail of 13-stage journey, which we have developed, which start from ideation. From ideation, how do you build a team, co-founder, bootstrapping, then you have mentor, and then you go to funding and scalability. So that's 13-stage journey. Could be told and shared with the students, so they have the vision where they start and where they are landing up, what are the milestones. And a lot of important terminologies, definitely a lot of them must be new to you. So obviously it will be very new to students. So it's good that they know it as early as possible. So that was a topic 2. Topic 3, very important, idea generation, how to generate idea. We shared some techniques with you. One of the technique was flowering of ideas technique, where you develop multiple solutions of single problem. Very rare to see. We always just come with one solution and we just work with that and try to just keep, mudding around it, which is not the right way. You should have at least 10, 12, 15, 25 if you do the flowering of innovation, and find the most best fit, top 3, 5, apply them and see what's happening, and then do a mix match to finally have the best fit. Idea tree is another good activity which Ritu has shared with you. How can you get ideas from the idea tree and also from startup sector? What are the sectors? If they are aware of that, they can choose a sector. They can link their skill, passion with that. Topic 4, idea validation. Once you have an idea, the question is, how do you know, or how do a student know this idea is worth to pursue? Is it going to work in the market? So we give you 4 parameters, very critical. The top one is monetization, not in terms of just making money, but to sustain, whether it's a social entrepreneurship or a commercial. Who is going to pay you, why they are going to pay you, what value you are creating. Then what product market fit, that means what solution you are bringing to market, is market looking for that, and are you fitting to the demand or the need of the market and the customer. Then is it innovative, or is it simply another copy or little bit increase in the present options. So you have to be very different, innovative. Innovation can be at every level, not just product or service. It could be business innovation, it could be strategic innovation, it could be the way you serve customer, you deal with them. Every part can be innovative. And then finally, scalability factor has to be there. That whatever you are working on, the problem you are working on, the solution you are bringing, its application should be at a very, very large level that is directly connected to monetization. Obviously, if you are working for a solution which is just connected to 100 people or 5,000 people, your market is so small, obviously you will crash very soon. So that scalability factor, later on, it's linked with the funding and the other milestones. Type of the revenue models we have shared with you, scale of pain, very, very critical. Again, activity to be understood by students, that what pain is they having in that problem. Are they solving a very critical pain, or it is a moderate pain? They should understand that. The more critical it is, the better it is. Type of the need, what is the type of need, social, emotional, along those things. Type of innovation, multiple they can do, and type of scalability, horizontal, vertical, that they can take. Co-founder, bootstrapping, proof of concept, mentor. The first milestone pillar of the journey. Very important, having a robust team. How do you find? You go through our skill gap matrix. You understand the present founders, co-founder, what skill they have, what skill is required by that particular entrepreneurial venture to start executing it. And if you need those core skills and you don't have, that is a skill gap, and you find those kind of co-founders in your team. And that is a complementary skill. Look for people with a complementary skill rather looking for just friends. Then parameters of proof of concept. How do you even know that your concept per se is something worth pursuing? So you have to check the feasibility, viability, and desirability. Is it feasible? Can I make it? Can I execute that? Or is it too much out of my resources, skill, and control? And what is the demand? Is there demand, or I'm just thinking the demand will come as my product will come in the market? That happens very less. And the viability. The viability again comes to the sustainability part. Will it be viable? Viable in terms of cost, viable in terms of purchasing power and sales and everything. And finally, connecting to mentor and having understood the mentor's experience, which brings you, 5 years, 10 years of value, which you will learn only when you fall in those pitfalls. So no need to do that. So have mentor and have multiple mentors, not necessarily have one.
So topic 6 was it's a milestone stage where we have with the idea, with the validation of idea, POC, bootstrapping, and a mentor to look after. Now it's time to make a minimum viable product. So we understood the basic concept, why minimum viable product, because we have to go to the market, we have to test it, and we have to iterate it. So with the minimum features, but whatever is the product or service, that should be functional. Users or customers should be able to use it, experience it, and share the feedback. How we shared how the few of the startups build their first MVP and what are the tools to build an MVP. Next, we discussed about the company incorporation, what are the type of companies, what is the importance of IPR, very important, and how Startup India also helps if you file for the patent or copyrights in terms of time and the cost. We shared this Camper, very powerful tool, which can be used on any existing product or service. And you can have a lot of innovative ideas. A student can use it. You can give them any product, any current product or service, and ask them to do all the 7 thinking, and they can do some innovation there. Next was product development. We understood the build, measure, learn, do. We build in the form of MVP. We went to the market, measured it. We got the feedback, and we learned, what to change. We learned about the product matrix, whether we have to have in a high-end segment with a low customer or with a low-end segment with more number of customers, and then there were 4 segments of that. Very important, pivot or persevere. So in case we have the feedback which is not very good, our customers are liking only one of the feature or very less feature, we have we understood all the types of pivot and how we can pivot, and the examples of the companies or the startups who pivoted. Product development strategy is based on the customer or based on the product and all this. Topic 9 was traction. Now our MVP is ready and we have the feedback from the market and we have improved it. Now it's time to go into the market, launch it. Why traction is important? Because here we are going into the real market and we are going to get the real users. And maybe some revenue also. How to measure the traction in terms of number of users, number of signups, or number of sales, or the revenue. Path to traction, what are the ways, how can we get the traction? And also we told about the digital micro launch of a startup, what we support as a startup. The next is the fundraising and pitching. So pitching is what is pitch deck. There are types of pitch deck, from elevator pitch deck to the concept pitch deck and the full PowerPoint presentation kind of. What are the elements from the problem to solution to the team, and what we are asking from an investor and what we are ready to give to an investor in terms of percentage, equity percentage in our company. What are the strategies to raise funds? 11 is the funding for startup and investment equation. Here we learn about how can we do innovation in funding. So innovation is everywhere. There is no stage of the innovation as such. From the idea stage to the scalability stage, everywhere innovation. Art of fundraising, what happens between the founders and the investors. So they have to be aware about that. Investment equation shared by our experts and the exit strategies. The topic 12 was we discussed some funding terminology from Minicon to Heptagon, hockey stick growth, and learn few more techniques like value innovation through blue ocean strategies, where we told you about the blue ocean with less competition and red ocean with lot of competition. And that how we can achieve that through innovation within our products and services. We learned about the reverse brainstorming technique, how this can be used with the students. We have mostly a lot of the techniques where we are saying to break the thinking pattern, the way they are thinking, whether to make a useless thing or whether to think in the reverse direction, how to make things worse. So that's how the reverse brainstorming can be used with the students. In topic 13, we discussed about the barriers of the scalability, challenges and strategies, and the 21st century, the learning skills, 4Cs, literacy skills, MIT, and life skills, FLIPS. In topic 14, yesterday, about social entrepreneurship, sustainable development goals, SDGs, and ethics in entrepreneurship. So what are the type of social entrepreneurship, and we understood with few examples, and the 17 SDGs, which you can use with your student. They can pick and select, on which they want to work and create teams and work, and maybe work with some of the organization as a volunteer also on that particular subject. Today, we discuss about the startup ecosystem, stakeholders, so the role of incubator, accelerator, and co-working spaces. So ecosystem canvas we have seen from the government departments to the policies, what's happening at the school and college level, at community level. Startup India website, there are a lot of information available there. You can go and register your students if they already have something, and you can get to know all the schemes and the role of the stakeholders, like Professor Devinder told us about the incubator. So I think little bit we can tell on the co-working spaces. We haven't touched that.
Yeah, so there are so many other infrastructure who are part of the entrepreneurship ecosystem, specifically catering to startups. And we call them the new age offices. We call them co-working space. So you go and work with all other people who are into that setup. The concept is very simple. It's not a traditional leasing office space where you or only your company go and lease it, and you have to take the on the entire rent and all the premises expenses and all. Rather, you just go and even take a single seat in a setup which is having international level of standard with all kind of amenities. Additional, now they have gaming places. They have places to do events which are happening around, especially related to innovation or especially related to startup and otherwise also for general entertainment. So it's a very happening place where you as per your team size, because all young entrepreneurs, they are always with a very small team, mostly 2-3 people, 4 people maximum. So they can always go, and they have a less budget. So they can even have a chair, single chair table worth 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 rupees, depending what kind of level you are taking. They have different levels. They have also same chair, table or place in a cabin, open space and shared space, all those kind of things they have. They have daily passes. So it's very flexible and it's very good. And I remember my journey when I started. I used to live in Lajpat Nagar, if somebody who knows Delhi. And just opposite the highway of the Lajpat Nagar, there was one new center was coming up. And I don't know what was it, very nice building. And I used to take an evening walk. I went there and saw, and I asked the guard, and he said, this is the cultural center of Korean embassy, Korean cultural center, or India. Okay, I said, amazing, when it's opening and all those things. And that time there was no co-working space. So somehow it was my innovation, or somehow it stuck to me. I went and I saw and I asked, what is the membership? And they did not started the membership. They were saying that you can just have some time until we start the membership. You can use our library, you can use the system's laptop. So then I said, okay, I won't use it free. I will volunteer every day for 1 hour and whatever help you need. And rest of the time I will use, because I was using their internet and everything. And I became a permanent member of that community. And for 1 year, when I launched my farm tourism, I was using that almost free. And exactly that thing came later on, where things become shareable, that you pay per hour or per day or per month, just whatever you are using. So this is again why I'm telling, because everything could be innovative, and you can do same with your school also. You can have some corner, some place, maybe after school, and you can ask student to manage it. Again, you can make a co-working space. You are already have sitting, just you can make it little more, good as an ambience. So you can create multiple such things and study about them. So these are co-working spaces which have all kind of categories, and they are also, at some places, they are also helping you not just with the sitting and infrastructure, they help you with so many other free things which are either provided by Startup India. Let's say they are getting some funds, or there are a lot of startups which are big like Google, Paytm, Ola. They offer a lot of support to young entrepreneurs and startup. So whenever you join that particular co-working space, you get all those offers and support. And obviously, being in a community where everyone is talking about innovation, entrepreneurship is very, very happening and very knowledgeable, knowledge sharing, rather sitting in your own garage in corner, which is not so much, learning in that case. Finally, crux of, we want to show you what we have been able to deliver. We have done multiple case studies, almost 25, 30 case studies. You can quickly read, I'll name some of them. Redbus, where he saw his own problem. He could not book a bus and he got this idea, I should solve it. Everyone knows Oyo. Now you know Forestman of India, Waterman of India. So there is no dirt, there is no fixed frame that only these people or only this path is for entrepreneur. You can do anything and become an entrepreneur. So it's a very, very vast canvas to work on. We can share the.
Yeah, we discussed few tools and techniques which you can use, very interesting, and you can make an activity out of it for students, like Chindogu for the to make something useless, idea tree, idea sector. We discussed flowering of ideas for multiple solutions, but out of the box. Problem statement canvas to understand the problem, 5 whys, ask 5 times why we are doing this. 4 validation parameters, scale of pain, type of need, skill gap canvas, how to make the MVP, those tools, Scamper, build, measure, learn, product matrix, fish tech elements, devotion strategy, reverse brainstorming, 21st century. And yesterday, Bramka wrote about the brainstorming, mind mapping, 100 points method, Eisenhower method, and the 6 thinking hats. So these can be used